And that's the list. I'm not even going to click on why Control is IGN's 2019 Game of the Year, because if you have to explain why you picked that as a Game of the Year, then it's obviously not the fucking Game of the Year.
Yo, it's the Grown Kid Talk Show. Yo, it's the Grown Kid Talk Show. Yo, Grown Kid Talk Show. Yo, it's the Grown Kid Talk Show.
Alright, so I'm hoping that the best games of the decade by IGN will be a redeeming list for the trash list I had to do for the most highly rated games by critics of the decade. That list was just so trash. I'm letting IGN redeem themselves as well for that trash Death Stranding review. Made a video on that. You guys actually really liked that. I said go fuck your Death Stranding review. I'm gonna give IGN a new shot. It is a new decade, and I'm hoping that this list entertains me somewhat. Mass Effect 2, okay, I understand the pick. It was also on that other list. It's just with Mass Effect 2, you don't get the full effect of Mass Effect 2 if you don't play Mass Effect 1 and Mass Effect 3. So it's hard. I can imagine to put games in some kind of series in these lists. So if you're gonna say that this is the best entry in the series, I would agree with you. But Super Meat Boy in 2010, I mean, okay, okay, I guess I wasn't. A couple people in chat mentioned Super Meat Boy to play. It just I'm sure it's a good game, but I'm just imagine that there are better Metroidvania platform type of games that are just better than this. Celeste being one of them, Hollow Knight kind of being another one, you know, a step above this. If we're talking about, you know, very low quality games, then yeah, this can make that list, make this list, I guess. But this was not something I particularly care for. Fallout New Vegas, here's a Fallout game I missed personally. I jumped on the Fallout wagon, I think around, well, Fallout New Vegas. I played like a little bit of it at my cousin's house, but really wasn't until 4 that I played a Fallout game from start to finish. I enjoyed it. I mean, it is what it is. I'm no longer on the Fallout train. I don't even want to give them praise for what they accomplished, because the directors, I believe, who did this game left the studio, I would imagine, for multiple reasons to make the Outer Worlds. Outer Worlds was a good game, not the greatest game ever, but it was a good game. A good fuck you to Bethesda. I've said that before. Batman Arkham City. Now, I did play a little bit of this on the PlayStation Now, or at least one of the trilogy, because I know it's a trilogy. Okay, I guess. I would like to think, and I didn't play it, that the newest Spider-Man would actually be better than this game. But considering this came out in, you know, the early 2000 of this decade, 2010s, I guess we're giving more credit to those games, I guess. But this is by no means the first superhero game. I would assume it was the most polished and best superhero game to the point. But again, if you have this on here, I would assume you would have Spider-Man. The Elder Scrolls Skyrim, this was a huge success. This is probably the game on this list that I super agree with the most. This definitely got me into the Elder Scrolls. Again, I don't want to give any props to Bethesda and their greedy practices. But this was a huge hit, came out multiple times. They needed to get every penny out of this game for every console that's been released to date. And it's for good reason. It was made well. It functioned well. It gave that whole vibe. So that's cool with me. So far, I'm whatever on the list. I have a lot of questions because Mass Effect 2, okay, I get it. Minecraft, yes, obviously this was a huge success of a game. Not my cup of tea personally. If there was a game like this I would play, it'd probably be Dragon Quest Builders 2. I played a demo of it on Twitch. I liked that, more of a structure, more of a story. You know, but this is so wide open that I can see the appeal and everything. Minecraft just not what I did. Shout out to PewDiePie for basically bringing this game back from nothing to huge success again. Last of Us, awesome. Again, I'm not too happy with Naughty Dog and the direction of The Last of Us 2, but The Last of Us it defined a generation in gaming, what gaming could be, what kind of stories it could tell. You normally don't see in cinema and media and stuff kids getting killed. This was one of those that did the kid killing and did it well. It's funny, Assassin's Creed did the kid killing in like 3 games in a row. Assassin's Creed Origins, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I just thought maybe not 3, but it was a little excessive. This game kind of did it tastefully. The DLC was whatever, honestly. What kept this game alive was the multiplayer. I want to see if they, mention it or at least show it, because that truly is underrated. No, they didn't show it. That was the most underrated part of The Last of Us, was that multiplayer, which we're not getting in the now delayed Last of Us 2. Dota, I'm not a Dota person. It kind of seems like I'm just ragging on the games on this list, but I'm not. I'm just, giving my opinion here. If you play Dota, let me know. I understand the style, and I get the premise of the game. A huge success, the MOBA. This became very popular for a long time, and still is very popular. Just not my cup of tea. I tried it out, or maybe not this. I tried a different one, League of Legends. I tried out, I believe. But I'm just thinking about the list holistically. And I just don't want to see choices on here because they came out earlier in the decade, and them not being the best version of themselves of the decade, like the Batman game. Grand Theft Auto, yes. This, again, another game, super popular. I understand why it's on this list. Is it the best Grand Theft Auto? You're going to have to let me know. I think it is, based on the story aspect of the game. I think the story is a lot better, a lot stronger. And then you have the online component, which is still going strong today. So I'm totally on board with this. So I'm on board with, Last of Us, Grand Theft Auto, Skyrim. I'm on board with Mass Effect. However, I didn't listen to it, but the caveat should be this is a huge story trilogy game. And then we add Andromeda. I thought Andromeda was a good first attempt into the new generation, new ideas. Obviously wasn't that great, but still, the caveat there is it is a trilogy. You got to get into it. Okay, Assassin's Creed Black Flag, to me, got boring very fast. The ship shit got way too much and too heavy for me. I was over the ship shit after the first, 10 hours maybe. I thought it was okay. It wasn't my favorite Assassin's Creed by no means. Don't get me wrong, but this one caught the appeal of a lot of people, and this is when the shift in Assassin's Creed really took place into a mainstream game inside of a mainstream game. Hearthstone, okay, it did take the world by storm, considering the access to play people online and stuff. I never got into it. I much rather prefer to play Magic, or that Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links if I'm playing card type games. But back to Assassins, I'm really not looking forward to, if the leaks and everything is true, this Assassin's Creed Viking shit. I think that shit looks so bad. Who's texting me? I don't have any friends. I don't think that's the direction to go. I might do a follow-up video on that, because Assassin's Creed is really disappointing me. I've talked about it before, but nothing about an assassin screams Viking. I'm done with the looting. So whatever. I tried that game out, Hearthstone. It's whatever. Bloodborne. Okay, so this is arguably the best Souls game. I understand it's not Dark Souls. It's made by the same company. And again, I don't think Sekiro deserved Game of the Year. That was not the best Souls-like game, made by a company who makes only Souls games. I want everyone to understand that when they talk about Sekiro. Bloodborne, truly, I do think was the best in the genre. And it will stay the best as long as they keep it a one-off. Hopefully their new game with Guillermo del Toro, who also worked with Death Stranding, is that game we all thought Sekiro would be. Sekiro got lost in the hype. We got lost in the hype of Sekiro, and it ended up not being what we thought it was. People are still playing Bloodborne over, putting that time and effort into Sekiro. honestly, and that's disheartening. So hopefully their new game is that change, that new thing, because Sekiro damn sure wasn't, but Bloodborne, for the time, it really, really was spectacular.